As an unemployed graduate, I feel wasted. I had to study for 4 years, then come back to the street and have no job. I have to go to vibaruas and I'm exploited by the biashara women and men because they have to pay me a less amount of money and the work that I'm doing that's too much. And I feel like when I'm going to look for work, they have to ask for something like corruption. The government is not doing anything about it, and I feel like I'm defeated and I don't have anything to do. And that's why most of the people we end up becoming criminals because that's easy money that you can get without any qualifications.
As an African youth who has to cross the Mediterranean Sea, why am I here? It's because I have no hope in society. They've neglected me. Just because I don't have the papers, I don't have the skills. Do I sleep hungry? Do I stay without knowing what I'll do tomorrow? No. I'd rather take my chances in Europe. Even though I don't know how to swim, I just have to pray and hope to God that the boat doesn't capsize and I fall into the water. I also don't know any European language, but what can I do? Do I stay here and remain hopeless? No. I have to have hope that at least in Europe, I'll be able to do something. Even if it's cleaning toilets or doing something, at least I'll be able to make money. And European money, not just this common currency. So I'm here because I have no hope. I have nothing else to do. I have to just cross the Mediterranean Sea.
It seems so comfortable up here.
Okay.
Like I can afford anything, I can go anywhere, I can do anything.
And where are your voters?
My voters. Back there.
And how do you feel about them being there?
I don't feel anything.
You don't feel anything?
Yeah.
Nangoja 2022.
Nangoja
that's it.
kura.
The first thing is I'm the most privileged here. Being a lawyer, I have the know-how about the law works. I can manipulate it the way I want for my own needs. Looking at the people behind there, my clients, maybe I might say I need them behind there so that I can represent them more, I can take more from them, because from all this lot, all of them are my clients, starting from Mr. President here, the Changa guy, who cannot afford my fees sometimes, but I am comfortable here.
Privileged sana sababu niko na kila kitu na ni somehow vizuri au akiwa hapo kwa sababu kila mtu akiwa mbele hakuna mtu mwenye atani support. Sasa nikiwa hapa nionyeshe pesa kidogo kwanza ule wachanga pale niko na support hapa.
I'm not affected in any way. My husband is the one who works.
Just sit at home.
I just sit at home and I don't even know how the other people at the back relate to my situation because I have no experience.
I'm comfortable. I can buy food. My kids are okay. I'm good. And I can fly out of the country occasionally. For them, maybe CSR ya Facebook here and there. Piga picha tumesaidia watu fulani hapa, but haini affect directly, so I'm good.
I feel privileged. One, I have a direct link to the government officials. I can also represent the ones who are at the back, but in most cases, maybe in terms during my representation, you find that when I'm benefiting, I'll forget about them. So it's my interest first, and then their interest will come later. So I feel like I can get what I want from where I am.
I feel like I'm in a privileged position where I control and I sell money, and I know that most of the people here might be my customers or my clients, and I know if I make the right decisions and I give them the right choices, they can also get away with earning money in a way. I can also stand for them. That's if I decide to lead them in the perfect direction. Here, take a savings account, try saving over time, things like this. So I feel like I'm also privileged enough to advise more people in a way through my position.
I can own businesses in different parts of the world and I can even employ some of them to work for me. So yes, I'm here, but I think at some point I can relate with some.
Do you feel that when you're giving them employment opportunities, you exploit them? Or would you give them employment opportunities at the same markup of your profit?
I think some I can exploit them.
I would advocate, but for rights that are just enough for me. When there's climate, maybe that one I can preserve. But when people are talking about sleeping hungry, I'm a farmer. So it's very easy to be very selfish and be very comfortable. but also I feel a responsibility then to replace that line according to my needs. When prices are high, I am living the less. But now, it's always living on the edge because I don't know when the prices are gonna drop. And now when they drop, that's when I feel the responsibility the most to now advocate, but for myself.
I feel disadvantaged. I feel like it's an oasis of wealth in this country because it's definitely being proven. Some are so ahead, some are at the middle, some are behind. So it's definitely an oasis of wealth. But very few people have access to that oasis given their positions, and probably they can call shots here and there. But still, since I'm an activist, I feel like even if their rights were being violated, I would still stand to defend their rights. If everybody knew what I know, then we will be at the same thinking level, and probably they won't be so far ahead and they won't be so behind if they knew what I know.
It's all about creating balances.
Yes.
I'm advantaged and privileged to be in the middle class, that is between the higher class and the lower class. And this position serves well in bridging the gap between the higher and the lower class. Because for one, if the governor needs to meet the lower people, the people on the ground, he must pass through the chief. And I think that is the role of chief. Secondly, it is the tire of life. You will need people. Everyone has a role to play. I am here for them to reach those people. And it is not my fault to be here. It is the position that has centered me here. And so everyone needs each other in life. They need me to reach these people, and these people need me to reach them.
I'm very bitter. I was displaced from my homeland, and I thought I would find solace in this newfound land. But here yet, I'm still working 16 hours a day just to afford eating. I cannot afford healthcare. Yet the children of governors and bankers are going abroad just to get treated. So it is a very hopeless situation, and we are struggling on a daily basis.
Very frustrated. Kwa sababu sina kitu kwanza, nimenyang'anywa kila kitu na kuhitaji representation from the lawyers. I need money. Haya, kwenda kuona governor unahitaji ka kitu pia ka connection kidogo. Mahali niko tu, I'm frustrated.
Yeah, I feel disadvantaged. I feel like overwhelmed by the situations. When eating what the middle class and the high class have left, I feel so disadvantaged. And then I feel like the people who are representing me are doing so much to make sure that I remain to be a straight child.
And I feel like my rights are not being taken care of well because I'm working 16 hours a day and Kenya napata ni kidogo sana, like I cannot sustain myself and my family.
Depends with what angle I look at my situation from. If I compare myself with the miner, I'm better off. But if I compare myself with the lawyer, he's far much better than where I am. So if looking from that spectrum, I'm disappointed. What comes to my mind is how can I work towards, at least getting to this middle ground. The gap is too big. But at the same time, I'm bitter towards them because I'm working 16 hours a day. I'm the one who pays that tax, ndo akue hapo. But when they're in that position, they're not considerate of us. They're enjoying their own life as they wish. If they want to go out of country to get treatment, they're okay, they can go. But here I am working 16 hours a day. What I work with is mostly the victims of abuse from the society, because that is my scope of work. And I'm apart from that, I have to be, stretch myself to accommodate their mental issues, because of course it comes with a lot of stigma, a lot of victimization. So yeah, there's bitterness, and of course there's also that, looking up to, admiring their position and wishing I would be there. But then I don't see goodwill in this, gap. So I remain to be bitter as much as I'm good. I'm serving those who are less privileged than I am.
I have to work extra hours to feed my family because my life depends on changa. Then I have issues with the chief. The chief was always on my neck, and also accessing the lawyer services when I'm called to the police is an issue. And also I'm seeing a gap where I need my son or my girl to be a lawyer so that in future anitetee huko kwa court, then I'm less privileged because the governors, the presidents, they look up to me. Mi ndo nimeshika watu kwa ground. Yeah, because most people come and drink at my changa den, so nimeshika votes. So most of the governors and their agents and the presidential candidates, the hustlers and the dynasty, wananitafuta ndo niwatafutie votes huku chini.
I feel like equality is a scam. For somebody over there, presidential candidate, to call himself a hustler and doesn't know what it feels like to work 16 hours in a day, for me not to be able to provide for my 3 kids, for me to rush to the governor's offices to secure a permit or just to get tenders in the businessman, it's really a struggle, and no activists to talk for us. We're just fishermen. Go to the ocean, fight with the Ugandan borders.
For me it's a struggle because I pay taxes but I don't get services. For example, if I want to get maybe like sexual reproductive health services, I'm discriminated in health facilities. My children are judged according to what I do. I'm harassed by city council.
I really feel disadvantaged. I have to raise my 8 kids alone and they have their father. It's because the case is at court and they are taking too long. I really have to work hard to give them food, and for school they really have to, like, some miss, some go, because even for the bursaries they are not giving to us, so I'm really feeling so bad.